Looking for the freshest wild salmon in Portland? Meet Kenai Redfish Company. They're a family-owned business based in Northeast Portland, and every summer, they head up to Alaska's Cook Inlet to sustainably fish for wild salmon. At this very moment, they're doing what they do best, reeling in wild salmon that could be headed straight to your freezer. Kenai Red works just like a CSA, but for wild Alaskan fish. Use CityCast15 for $15 off your salmon share today at KenaiRed.com. That's KENAI Red.com. Fish that's caught for you, real fish from real people. Biketown makes it easy to explore the city on an e-bike or a scooter. All you have to do is find the nearest available bike or scooter using the Biketown or Lyft app, scan the QR code on your set of wheels, and you're on your way. One beautiful waterfront ride is a 5-mile loop from the Steel Bridge to the Tillicum Crossing, the largest car-free bridge in the world. New riders can use CityCast25 for a free unlock. For more info, go to biketownpdx.com. We're at the beginning of the peak growing season with countless varieties of fruits and vegetables hitting farmers markets and grocery stores over the next few months. But let's be honest, just because it's local, it doesn't mean we love them all. So today on CityCast Portland, Brian Vance of Stumptown Savings is here to debate Oregon's summer produce. What lives up to the hype, what's overrated, plus he's got plenty of tips on when to find the best stuff at peak season, assuming you like it, of course. It's Monday, July 7th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. We love our local fruits and vegetables so much here in the Pacific Northwest. It feels almost bad to say anything that you don't like. Like, as much as you adore most of local produce, I know that you are also kind of an unabashed hater.
A little bit, yeah.
What would you say to someone who's just like, look, I've tried 10 different ways to like this particular food, and it's just not going to happen for old me. Like, how do you decide? When would you say, just call it, man? Just call it.
I think if you've tried 10 varieties, like let's do eggplant.
Okay.
If someone has cooked eggplant for you 10 different ways, give up. Move on to something else. Eggplant is just not going to be for you. Yeah. And full disclosure, I don't like eggplant. I have tried eggplant a million different ways. I find the texture disgusting. The flavor's not great. There are enough other vegetables out there that you can try. Like, okay, so you don't like eggplant? Maybe try, I don't know, kohlrabi, which I had never even tried until last year, and it's actually weirdly delightful. It's the ugliest vegetable I've ever seen, but it can be quite tasty if prepared right. So give it a fair shot. Like, try at least, I'd say 3. A rule of 3.
Rule of 3, okay. That. I love that you came straight out of the gate with eggplant, because I actually had to kind of go through this process with eggplant, where I'm just like, I think I like it in baba ganoush. And then I was like, no, I think I just like saying baba ganoush.
Yeah, baba ganoush is just fun to say.
I think it tastes like what I don't like, but burnt now. And more, I'm just like, I don't think I like eggplant. But anyhow, we're going to go through a bunch of different categories of produce, debate their merits, and then talk about when to find them at their peak. So Let's start with our local fruits. Berries, what do you think? Overrated? Underrated? Perfectly rated?
Perfectly rated. Maybe a little bit underrated. I mean, we have the best berries in the world, like hands down. Strawberry season just sort of like ended its peak season, but we actually have strawberries that will continue to come on all throughout the summer. Blackberries, Marionberries, which I argue are the best berries in the world. I have actually gotten into arguments with people on Reddit over this. Someone tried to tell me that they're just a branded blackberry, and I'm like, no, sir. They're just, the sweetest version of a blackberry, but also a little bit tart, and just so good.
I gotta tell you, Brian, I do think that Marionberries might be a little, and I'm saying this in Oregon, overrated because we're just like, that's our berry, baby. But have you had a blueberry? I'm sorry. Yeah, I just find
blueberry's good, but it's not as versatile, I feel like.
What?
No.
What is a Marionberry? What is it doing? Backflips? What is it doing that a blueberry can't do?
Marionberry ice cream is amazing. Blueberry ice cream, not so much. It's just not as good. Like, blueberries, I feel like can be a little bit of like a one-note ingredient.
That was a hard tea.
Marionberries can, be a little bit more complex.
Okay, I'll give you that. Let's walk through some seasons on the rest of the berries, like when you could get them at their freshest. So like somebody is like, all right, I want to try this Marionberry. When are they
Yeah.
in season? Where can they go grab them?
Marionberries have a slightly shorter season than like traditional blackberries. So right now, really, basically like July through August is the best
Okay.
time to get them. You're going to see them at markets. You're going to see them in stores. They're great. Raspberries right now are also in peak season. They start a little bit earlier. So they technically started in June and they're going to run also through August. And you're going to get a ton of different varieties of raspberries in Oregon, not just the traditional red ones that you see all year round. You'll see like slightly orange ones, basically golden colored ones. Blackberries are basically here all through the summer, from the ones that you get at the markets to the ones that you see on the side of the Springwater corridor. Those things are going to be growing right up through October, basically. Blueberries also have a somewhat long season, but really the peak of them will be, later in July and into August.
Okay. Well, there's also stone fruits are coming through, like peaches, apricots.
My favorite stone fruit is definitely cherries. I've just always loved cherries. I'm actually a fan of pretty much all stone fruits, really. Like apricots, I really love just fresh apricots. And we surprisingly grow a decent amount of stone fruits in the Willamette Valley area. Peaches and apricots, not so much. There are some farms out in like Washington County who are doing this, but really where you're going to get the bulk of those are from like Hood River County.
Okay, well, what do you think of plums, though?
Plums, I think, are...
Because I think they could stay home, is all I'm saying.
Oh, Claudia's not inviting them to the picnic. I think plums are the kind of thing that, like, if you get a really perfectly ripe plum that you pick it off a tree, like in your neighborhood or whatever, and it's just perfect, it can be amazing. But have you ever had a green plum? They're like these European variety that some people have started growing as like trees in their yards in Portland. There's a person a few houses over from us who has them. You can find them typically at like Providore Fine Foods. Those things are like tart sweet, just very different from the usual plum flavor, which I feel like can be a little bit like sickeningly sweet. But yeah, a mushy plum is no fun. You want one that has a bit of a crisp bite into it.
Well, let's talk about tomatoes because it's coming through the season.
Oh, huge fan. And, we just grow so many cool tomatoes here. A nice, like, big, like, beefsteak style tomato sliced, drizzled with, like, balsamic vinegar on it in the middle of summer. So good. So good.
Where are you getting your tomatoes?
My backyard.
Oh, okay.
It's really easy to grow tomatoes here. But honestly, you're going to find them all over. Like, not just farmers markets. You're going to find local tomatoes in the grocery stores here for the next few months because they are this type of fruit that when it produces, it just goes into like hyperdrive mode and people just get buried in them. And so that's happening at farms too.
That's so true. I feel like if you work at any office, there's always some point in the summer where someone's running in with either figs or tomatoes. And they're like,
figs
please.
and tomatoes.
They're like, please help me. I'm drowning.
And zucchini.
Yeah.
Zucchini like is another one of those things that people just seem to get like buried in, and they're like, please eat these, take these.
Yeah. Are there any variety of Oregon tomatoes that you're just like, these are the ones?
I've been a fan of finding like weird heirlooms that you can get at farmers markets typically, but like New Seasons Market of Choice will also carry them. They don't look like a tomato that you're used to seeing. They might have odd colors like a brownish purple or almost like a burnt orange, and they have fun shapes. They just have like a more complex flavor, and also you don't always know what you're getting into. Like it might be more acidic or more sweet.
Yeah. What's the season? Is it just all summer?
It's like peak when it's really hot out is when I think you'll find those the best. So, later July, early August, I feel like is when some of those do best. But tomatoes seem to do well all summer long. Last year I had tomatoes growing through late October and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, it's not like, please stop.
Oh, that sounds awful. God, I'm sorry, Brian.
It was the worst. So many cherry tomatoes. So bad.
Well, another thing that grows when it's super hot out are watermelon. And I'm a big fan of watermelon, but I heard
watermelon can stay home.
Oh my God.
To quote Claudia, watermelon is not invited to the party. It just tastes like water, Claudia. It just tastes like you're biting into like fleshy water.
Delicious water. Do you not like cucumbers?
Water. No, I love cucumbers. This is like watered down sugar water is what watermelon tastes like. Watered down Kool-Aid. Like it's just not good.
Have you had a Hermiston or like
I have. It's like, okay, a Hermiston's better than most, but they're just not, I don't know.
It's not your thing.
It's not my thing.
Do you know when the peak season is of this fruit that you hate?
It's never, because it's not good. August to September, but you can pass on it. It's fine.
Well, let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, let's talk about some summer vegetables to look forward to or not look forward to if you're Brian. Freelancing or running your own business can feel like freedom and a trap all at once. Grinding day in and day out with no benefits, no savings for retirement, no safety nets, and let's not even talk about what's happening with the tax side of things. That's why Guilds with Benefits was created by freelancers to flip the script, because safety should not mean giving up on your dreams. Guilds with Benefits allows qualified freelancers and small business owners to join their payroll as W-2s while still keeping their independence. Guild members get great medical, dental, and vision insurance, automated tax deductions and compliance, paid time off, 401k with a 3% match, financial security, and so much more. If you're earning over $60,000 a year and are tired of doing it alone, visit guildswithbenefits.com so you can get back to doing the things you love.
CityCast Portland is brought to you by Diamore Law Group. Let's face it, sometimes bad stuff happens. A serious injury, a catastrophic accident, or even a wrongful death. It can turn your world upside down. When it does, you deserve unwavering support from a dedicated team. Yep, you need a lawyer. Diamore Law Group has over 30 years of experience protecting the rights of Oregonians. Their team of skilled attorneys, led by distinguished trial attorney Tom Diamore, will work tirelessly to make sure your voice is heard and your rights are protected. Here's what one of his clients said. Tom fights for his clients from the first day they meet him through the last day of trial. If you or a loved one needs help holding those responsible for your injuries accountable, contact Diamore Law Group at 503-222-6333 or visit diamorelaw.com to schedule a free consultation. They are committed to fighting for the justice and compensation you deserve right here in Portland.
So let's get into it. I feel like the star of Oregon veggies on the summer is corn. People just love corn. Can I tell you, though, I think it's a little overrated.
I think Oregon does not grow the best corn. Like,
really?
I'm gonna go.
Hold on. Is this a Midwest thing? Or are you gonna come through?
Yeah. I grew up in Ohio. Okay. Like I lived in the city surrounded by cornfields. The way I was talking about tomatoes earlier, you drown in corn in the Midwest. There's just so much corn. Some of it not great, some of it amazing. We have good corn here. You can find some good corn in the summer. We also have some corn that tastes a little flat, a little funky.
Yeah, well, because I'm from the Southwest, and we have different varieties of corn. And it's also like I come from like a people where like we're just like corn, bean, squash, you know?
Yeah, the Three Sisters.
Yeah. I have a very strong, I guess, preference to certain corns, and just the corns that we grow here. They're sweet and stuff, but they're just a little one note. The one thing, though, that I say that we have that other regions that I've lived in, they don't really have are snap peas. Our snap peas are amazing. Our snow peas, when that season hits, which is about now, you know.
Yeah, I've been seeing them at markets.
It is, I think it's like what corn wants to be. You know, like I don't know if you eat like sometimes I like raw corn, but like when you eat raw corn,
I've never had raw. Well, okay, that's not true.
Delicious.
I've had raw corn like cut up in stuff.
Yeah.
But never like. Do you eat it on the cob?
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah. Just it's a little starchier, but like I love, especially when it's hot out of the fridge. It's so good. I love raw corn if it's good. That's how you know corn's good. If it's too like if you're just like this is gross, it's not good corn.
Yeah, if it just tastes like you're eating cardboard, then no good.
So for corn, what's the season in Oregon?
Yeah, it's like peak summer. So, I mean, you'll start to see some of it now, but if you really want to wait to get the best corn, it's going to be like late August and through September is when you're going to find the best like sweet corn in Oregon. It really seems to come into maturity when we hit our like hottest moments of the summer.
Cool. And for snap peas, it's basically now all the way through August.
Yeah, it really is like they're everywhere right now. So if you like snap peas, go get them.
Well, what about squash? Because I know that's something that I think I eat a squash every day. I eat a zucchini pretty much every day. Even if it's not in season, I'm constantly eating squash. I heard I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just assuming that you don't like squash.
It
right?
depends.
Oh my
It
God.
depends. So like zucchini and yellow squash, which I often think of as just yellow zucchini. It's not technically, but it's sold in a way that makes you think of that.
I always thought it was yellow zucchini.
I like it. It's good, especially if it's prepared right. Like I just made some zucchini the other day, grilled it up with just a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, and it was delicious. I'm not a big fan of the fancier types of squash. Acorn, don't really like it. Spaghetti squash is something that people seem to really like. Do not like the texture of that thing. It is not fun to me.
Stringy. Too stringy
Yeah,
for you?
so stringy and so hard to cook. Like, I don't know. There's just too much prep involved in some of these squash. I just want to be able to like slice it, cook it, and eat it. But this is the cool thing about squash is there are so many varieties. So if you're not like me and you are into some of the more fancy ones, like you're really going to see different kinds of squash coming into season all summer long. And, you know, that's not even talking about the hardier cold weather squash that will come in the fall and whatnot. You're just going to have things coming up basically right now all the way through September. You're just going to see these in stores, at markets, everywhere.
Yeah, well, peak summer squash is between June to August. I know this because I usually, since I eat so much of this, Brian, I get my squash at Costco. It comes in this huge bag.
Massive, like 20-pound bag.
It's like it's a bag for like a family of 5, which I will eat in 2 weeks. And anyhow, that bag goes away at the end of August, and I'm always like, my squash, you know.
It's not here anymore.
Let's go into onions because I know I think Oregon grows its own variety of garlic and onions, I believe.
Yeah, we have this like elephant garlic festival. It's not technically garlic, but it's like an onion, but it's more like garlic. I've never seen that anywhere else.
No, same. Yeah, it's huge too.
I mean, there's a reason it's called elephant garlic. Yeah, onion season is really going to pick up later summer. So August through October. I know October isn't technically summer, but give me a break here. But you will start to see like you're going to see like smaller like baby onions right now, like pearl onions at markets. Those tend to really start to come on late spring, early summer. Green onions you're definitely going to find, leeks, stuff like that. Garlic is this weird thing that actually seems to produce like multiple crops a year. So you'll see some garlic now and you'll see some garlic late summer, early fall. But you're definitely going to have a bunch of varieties of onions around. The sweet onions from Walla Walla, which we do grow here. I know they're called Walla Walla sweet onions. They don't just grow in Walla Walla. Those things really seem to come on in like mid to late summer. So not quite yet.
Yeah, you seem like a person who would hate onions, but you like onions.
I love onions. Sauteed onions, grilled onions, raw onions, like and garlic. I mean, I could never become a vampire because when a recipe calls for like 1 clove of garlic, I put like a whole head of garlic in. So I would just die instantly.
Brian, I love that you're like, I could never become a vampire, as if it were an option.
It is. It totally is, Claudia. Have you not seen the movies? Those are real.
This is how it's not going to happen for Brian. It's because he loves garlic.
I'm protected.
Loves it.
If you don't eat garlic, you're not protected and you could become a vampire. So eat more garlic.
All right. So what about peppers? Because I didn't know we grew so many kinds.
We actually grow a decent... It's weird because peppers tend to love like really hot days and cool nights. I mean, we're getting hotter, but we don't technically have that type of super hot day, at least in the Willamette Valley. In other parts of Oregon, yes, but we don't typically have that hot day that you think of as like thriving with peppers. But there are certain varieties here that do really well, like the Jimmy Nardello peppers. People are huge fans of here. They seem to do well in our slightly cooler environment. We just grow a bunch of different weird varieties of peppers, a lot of sweet peppers.
I was about to say,
do really well.
You want to know why I think our peppers are a little sweeter is because of the fact that it cools down in the evening.
It definitely seems
and it's the sugars. I learned all about this because of how our strawberries are grown.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
And I think that's why our snap peas are also sweeter.
Because the sugars just concentrate in there at a higher rate. Yeah. And it does mean that, you're not going to find the same variety of hot peppers that you'll find like in the Southwest or other parts of the country. You will find a ridiculous amount of sweet peppers here and just so many fun shapes and colors and sizes. And, like a lot of these things, you're going to start to see some now, but really as we get closer to August and September is when those are going to start popping up just basically by the barrel.
Yeah, the old pepper barrel. Well, let's go to cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, radish. I mean, broccoli, cabbage, when I think of it, to me, that's a winter veggie. But we do
You would
have,
think so.
right? So
Yeah.
oh, you're so excited to tell me this. Do tell.
I mean, the fun thing about this is like, especially if you start getting into gardening, you realize that like a lot of vegetables don't have one season the way that we typically think of it. Like you can actually plant them at different times of the year and grow them. So you can definitely grow broccoli. Like you can do a planting later in the summer and harvest it in early fall. But you could have planted broccoli, earlier this month and harvest it starting next month and into early August. And it'll taste a little bit different. Like as you were saying earlier, like it may not have, I don't know, some broccoli can have a little bit of a sweet taste. It may not have as much of a sweet taste to it if you get it in like the summer crop. If you get it in the early fall crop, like it might have more of that. But it is actually something that you'll start to see locally produced broccoli, locally produced cauliflower. There's some weird colored cauliflower that you can find at markets.
Oh,
like
yeah. Psychedelic.
purplish.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It almost looks like it took shrooms or something when it was growing. You'll start to see those, the first crop of them here in a few weeks, in all honesty, and that'll run for a little bit. And then you'll see another batch of those really popping up again at the end of summer and early fall.
Yeah. My favorite, like, cruciferous veggie in the summer is radishes. I love radishes. Do you
How do you eat those, Claudia?
Wait, are you serious?
No. I like radishes, but I'm always like, what do I do with them? Like when I get a bunch of radishes, I'm like, okay, so I can cut them up and put them in a salad. Yes. Or I can have them with tacos.
Yeah.
What else do I do with them?
I just snack on them. Like I love, but yes, all the things you said, perfect. Some people, I don't understand this, but people like radishes with butter, do they saute them with butter or they No, they just like cold butter radishes and they put it on a sandwich. This is some like European French stuff because it's like it gives it some sort of peppery taste. That's Brian just is shaking his head. He's like, no,
that's just we're not doing that. Do that.
Yeah, no. For me, it's tacos. It's basically anything. It just cuts through anything that you're eating. It's
totally, it's like a palate cleanser.
Exactly, and that's how I eat radishes. I just love them.
Okay,
yeah.
There's something. Radishes just have such a nice bite to them. Another one of those things that you're really going to start to see here in the next few weeks. You'll start to see the first batch of them, but they tend to really come on again in August. August is like peak season for a lot of these things.
Oh,
It's like right when the weather gets the hottest. So things are either ending their season or beginning their season. Radishes seem to definitely really thrive around that time as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to throw you a final curveball. You're going to have to pick one of the things you said that you hate. And you're going to have to come up with one way of preparing it that you might, I'm not going to say you're going to like it, but you're going to eat it.
Yeah.
So pick a thing. I want to pick watermelon for you, but I feel like you've already done it.
I could do watermelon. Like, it's fine.
Have you had a watermelon agua fresca?
No, I actually haven't.
I think you might like it because
that might be a way.
It's leaning into what you already hate it for.
Turning it into water. Yeah. That might be a good one. If I had to pick one, eggplant parmesan. I don't like eggplant. I have tried eggplant a million different ways. I find the texture disgusting. The flavor's not great. But if you fry it and you cover it in cheese and marinara, like I can eat it. I will eat it.
How about that?
I'm not going to love it.
Yeah.
But if you fry anything, I'll probably eat it.
This is hilarious, Brian, because when we were getting ready for this interview, John, our executive producer, we were both like, it's crazy that everybody hates eggplant. But he was like, oh no, I can't stand it. But his cheat, because we were talking about this question. He's like, oh, I found a way to eat eggplant. And he's like, you slice it really thin and then you fry it. And I'm just like, that's how you're able to eat literally. I could eat a shoe that way.
Right. You batter it well enough.
You slice it so thin, you're just eating batter.
But, more power to him. Because John gets a CSA where he doesn't get to pick what stuff shows up. So I'm sure he's been stuck with eggplant, and that does force you to get a little bit more creative because you're like, well, I've got to use this.
It's a vegetable Russian roulette for sure.
Definitely. Just fry it up. Fry it up. Man.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine we're just going to get so many letters from like the eggplant. I don't know.
People either love it or hate it.
The Oregon Board of Eggplants is going to come after us. And look, we're just living our truth out here, okay? Thank you so much, Brian, for hanging out with us and going through some of this produce. This is great. I really love like knowing when things are in season. Also, if you forget, just go to the farmer's market. They know when things are in season because that's when they're selling it.
Exactly. That's when it'll be out. And if you're curious, like well, when will I start to see this? They are more than happy to tell you. I was at a farmer's market recently where a guy was getting the question so much, he made a sign and hung it around his neck about when cherry season would begin. And it was like, cherry season in 2 weeks. And then the next week he had the same sign and he crossed out 2 and it said 1 week. Trust me, they know when the season starts.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Claudia.
Well, that's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.